before the next day, because news changes. You know, you've got a funny airline story, you open the paper, oh, there's some horrible crash or something. So you try to have half of it done before you go to work in the morning, and the other half you add to it throughout the day.
Jay Leno is a renowned comedian celebrated for his numerous awards and his influence in the comedy industry. His career has inspired millions, and for decades, he has been a beloved figure in American entertainment. But beyond his impressive career, Leno has faced his own share of life tragedies. From losing loved ones to tough moments in his career, he has endured more than most would imagine. However, when it seemed like things were finally getting better, another unexpected tragedy hit, leaving people shocked. But what exactly happened to him? Join us as we uncover the real-life tragedy of Jay Leno. One of the biggest tragedies was losing his family members, a pain that fame couldn't take away. His mother, Catherine, passed away, and just a year later, his father, Angelo, also died. Things got even worse when his older brother Patrick, a Vietnam veteran and lawyer, lost his fight with cancer. Leno was very close to his brother, and the loss hit him hard. He has spoken about how painful it was to care for his sick relatives, especially Patrick, who fought cancer bravely but couldn't win the battle. Surprisingly, after losing those he loved most, life didn't get any easier for Leno. Beyond the death of his loved ones, he has faced even more tragedy as life went on. Stay tuned, we'll bring you the details. Jay Leno has faced many personal and health challenges. In November 2022, while working on a vintage car in his Los Angeles garage, Leno experienced a serious accident. A fuel leak led to a sudden explosion, causing severe burns to his face, chest, and hands. After the accident, Leno underwent several surgeries to treat third-degree burns. Then suddenly, boom, I got a face full of gas, and then the pilot light jumped, and my face got on fire, he recalled. I said to my friend, Dave, I'm on fire. He spent time in a specialized burn center, receiving skin grafts and other treatments to aid his recovery. Despite the seriousness of his injuries, Leno's commitment to his work remained strong. Amazingly, he returned to performing stand-up comedy just weeks after the incident, showing his dedication and resilience. Beyond sudden injuries, Leno has been open about his ongoing health issues. He has talked about his struggle with high cholesterol, a condition that can lead to serious risks if not managed properly. Understanding the importance of awareness, Leno has used his platform to promote regular health checkups and heart health, encouraging others to take proactive steps in managing their well-being. In 2019, during a routine checkup, doctors found that Leno had a blocked artery. This condition required a medical procedure to insert a stent, which helped restore proper blood flow and reduce the risk of more severe heart problems. As if these challenges weren't enough, in January 2023, Leno was involved in a motorcycle accident, just 2 months after being severely burned in a freak accident in his garage. Jay Leno revealed that he was in another accident, saying that he was knocked off his motorcycle, leading to multiple broken bones, including fractures to his collarbone, ribs, and kneecaps. Such injuries would seriously affect most people, but Leno's determination brought him back on stage in a short time, continuing to entertain audiences nationwide. But how Leno responded to the situation has left many in complete disbelief. Despite these numerous health setbacks, Leno has maintained his public image as a hardworking entertainer. However, it didn't end here. His wife of more than 40 years, Mavis Leno, is battling advanced dementia, a serious illness that has changed both of their lives forever. The diagnosis came as a huge shock to them. Mavis, who was once sharp and independent, started to lose her memory and struggle with simple tasks. For Jay, it was a painful reality. He couldn't make jokes to fix this problem. The woman he had loved for most of his life was slowly slipping away. Instead of falling apart, Jay took on a new role, that of a caregiver. Even with his busy career, he made sure to be by Mavis's side. He managed her doctor visits and helped her feel safe at home. His days were no longer just about work and cars, they were about making sure Mavis felt loved even on her hardest days. Taking care of someone with dementia is exhausting. It is not just physically hard but also emotionally painful. Jay, who is known for being upbeat, has admitted that this journey has been tough. He has talked about the importance of having family support during times like these. His friends and family have been there for him, but it is Jay who carries the heaviest burden. Those close to him say that he looks tired sometimes, even when he tries to hide it. Before her illness, Mavis was not just Jay's wife, she was a powerful activist. People respected her for her passion and hard work. But with dementia, her public work has slowed down. The woman who once gave strong speeches now struggles with everyday tasks. It is a sad change that has affected both her and Jay deeply. Their marriage has always been different from many Hollywood couples. Now, they face new challenges. Watching Mavis change has been heartbreaking for Jay, yet he has stayed by her side. Despite everything, Jay has kept Mavis's condition private. Unlike many celebrities who share their personal struggles for attention, Jay has done the opposite. He continues to host shows and take care of his cars, but he doesn't talk about Mavis's illness in public. He's not looking for sympathy, he just wants to protect his wife's dignity. But those who know him can see that he carries a heavy emotional weight. His smiles are still there, but they aren't the same. Jay's decision to stay quiet about his personal pain says a lot about his character. He's just doing what he believes is right, but little did he know that the real tragedy was yet to come. Keep watching to know the challenges he faced in his career. Setbacks in Jay Leno's career were significant. Jay Leno had a great career, but one tragedy hurt him. It's not just him, it also affected people around him. See, is this what I told you to be like? You know, he was doing a gig in some little backwater place, and I caught you right at the right time. Remember, I said you didn't want this gig at first? Remember, you said, yeah, I know, say thank you? In 2009, after hosting The Tonight Show for 17 years, Leno decided to step down. He handed the show over to Conan O'Brien, a fresh face with a unique style. At first, everything seemed to be going well, with Conan ready to take on the role and bring in a new era of late-night television. However, things didn't go as planned. As the months passed, it became clear that The Tonight Show wasn't getting the ratings NBC had hoped for under Conan. That's got to feel, you know, I know you meant well, but I had The Tonight Show for 10 minutes, and you just ate into my time. We give you time. This is all the time I have, knock it out. This led to a dramatic decision by the network to bring Leno back to the show in 2010, just a year after he left. When NBC announced that Leno was returning, it wasn't just a surprise, it was a major blow to Conan's fans. Many people were upset that Leno was coming back so soon, believing that he had unfairly taken the show from Conan. Fans flooded social media with anger, accusing Leno of taking back what had already been given away. The outrage was everywhere. It wasn't just the fans who were upset. The media also criticized Leno for seemingly being unwilling to let go of a role that had once been his. Instead of being seen as a fun-loving host, Leno now had the reputation of someone who was too stubborn to step aside and let someone else have their turn. This criticism came from all sides, including viewers who had preferred Conan's style over Leno's more traditional approach. As Leno's return became a bigger story, it began to affect his reputation. The idea that he was so desperate to stay at the top hurt his image, and many began to view him as someone who cared more about the job than fairness. Many felt disappointed because Jay Leno took back The Tonight Show from Conan O'Brien, which seemed selfish after Leno had promised to retire. Then, as if the situation wasn't complicated enough, Conan O'Brien made the decision to leave NBC. His departure wasn't just a professional choice, it was personal. Conan had been pushed out of a job he had worked hard to get, and many of his supporters blamed Leno for the situation. This made everything even worse, as people saw Leno's return as the reason Conan was leaving the network. The public began to see the situation as a battle between two talented hosts, and Leno's role in pushing Conan out made him the enemy in many eyes. Despite the hurt feelings and backlash, Leno's return to The Tonight Show brought the ratings back up. But even with higher viewer numbers, the damage had already been done. The story of Leno's return and the way it happened became a stain on his reputation. Another reason I had to come back, you know, a lot of people get their news from the monologue. Though the show's ratings improved, many people still questioned whether Leno deserved to come back in the first place. The public had witnessed the drama, and it was impossible to forget the way the whole situation unfolded. Leno's actions had left a mark that couldn't easily be erased. This controversy continued to shape how people viewed Leno in the years that followed. Some still respected his hard work, his dedication, and his ability to pull in viewers. But there were also those who couldn't forget how he had reclaimed The Tonight Show at Conan's expense. The debate over his legacy became a heated topic. On one hand, Leno had built a successful career and brought entertainment to millions. On the other hand, his return to the show at the expense of Conan left many questioning his integrity. It was a moment that overshadowed all the years of hard work that had come before it, leaving many questions unanswered. Strange, but it's nice coming here. Here is fun. Here you stay in a nice hotel, fabulous. It's a classic. It's a very hip hotel. The entire situation made it clear that Jay Leno's career would be remembered for more than just his humor. However, his return marked another tragedy that would unfold. It definitely gets more interesting. Jay Leno's return to CNBC with Jay Leno's Garage was initially a success, with the series premiere drawing nearly 1 million viewers, making it CNBC's most-watched original series telecast at the time. However, the show's ratings did decline over time. According to CNBC's quarterly ratings, the average audience for Jay Leno's Garage was around 201,000 viewers per episode, with a 0.06% rating as of December 2022. At first, the show looked like another hit for Leno, especially because of how well it fit his personality and interests. The show wasn't just about cars, it was about stories, history, and even a bit of humor. Fans enjoyed seeing Leno drive rare vehicles, interview interesting guests, and talk about car culture. It seemed like the perfect match for Leno, blending his love for cars with his long career in entertainment. The strong start made many people believe that Leno had found a new way to keep his TV career alive. But the early excitement didn't last. Over time, fewer people tuned in to watch the show. By 2022, the ratings had dropped significantly, with the audience shrinking to just a fraction of what it was at the beginning. Many people wondered why the show wasn't keeping its viewers. Was it because the content wasn't fresh enough? Or maybe people were just watching TV differently. Whatever the reason, it became clear that the show wasn't pulling in the big numbers that CNBC had hoped for. One of the biggest reasons for the drop in ratings was the rise of streaming services. It's less than a mile from here. It's been there for 50 years, and I never knew about it. Nobody did. Yeah, amazing. This one is interesting, this is a home-built special. Platforms like Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus became more popular, and people started choosing on-demand content over traditional TV shows. Instead of waiting for a scheduled program, viewers preferred to watch what they wanted when they wanted. This shift made it hard for cable shows like Jay Leno's Garage to keep their audiences. Even though Leno had a loyal fan base, the competition from streaming platforms was tough. As more people moved to streaming, CNBC found it harder to keep its viewers. It wasn't just Jay Leno's Garage that struggled, many cable channels saw their ratings drop across the board. But for Leno's show, the decline was noticeable. The inspiring series that had brought excitement to CNBC's lineup began to lose momentum. It wasn't the type of outcome anyone expected, especially for a host as famous and beloved as Leno. Despite the ratings drop, Leno never gave up on the show. His passion for cars was the driving force behind every episode. For him, Jay Leno's Garage wasn't just a job, it was something he truly loved doing. He enjoyed learning about different cars, meeting people from the automotive world, and sharing those stories with his audience. We took out the 6 and put in a V12. Took it to 5.7L, Willwood disc brakes, 5-speed Jag transmission. I call it my Jaguar Daytona, 'cause it's really like a Ferrari Daytona, it's a V12 show. Even as the viewership declined, Leno kept going because the show was an opportunity to do what he loved most. Sadly, the decline in ratings did raise questions about the future of the show. How long would CNBC continue to air a show that wasn't pulling in a large audience? Television networks need high ratings to make money, and when a show doesn't deliver, it often faces cancellation. For Leno's fans, the thought of losing the show was disappointing. Many viewers still appreciated the unique content that Jay Leno's Garage provided, even if the ratings didn't reflect that. Yet, through it all, Leno remained focused on his passion. He didn't let the ratings affect his work. He kept producing episodes that showcased incredible cars, told fascinating stories, and featured interesting guests. His love for the subject was clear in every episode. Even if fewer people were watching, those who did tune in could see that Leno was doing what he loved most. However, Leno's career setbacks were only one part of the story. Stay tuned to find out more about Jay Leno's tragedy, the tragedy in Jay Leno's business. Aside from his long career in television, Jay Leno has had struggles in his business ventures. He's famous for his deep passion for cars, owning one of the largest car collections in the world. His garage is filled with rare and classic vehicles, all carefully chosen by him. But while his collection looks impressive, it hasn't always brought financial success. In fact, his love for cars has caused him to face some big financial losses, turning what should be a dream into a challenge. Jay Leno's car collection is legendary. With over 180 cars and 160 motorcycles, it's one of the biggest private collections worldwide. His garage holds everything from vintage cars to futuristic models. For car fans, it's a treasure trove of history and innovation. Leno doesn't just collect these cars to show off, he genuinely loves them. His YouTube series, Jay Leno's Garage, showcases the stories behind his cars. However, owning such a massive collection comes with a heavy cost that most people don't see. Keeping a collection of this size is extremely expensive. Leno isn't the type to buy cars and let them gather dust, he makes sure each car is in perfect condition. Japanese stuff was junk. You know, the first Japanese cars that came here literally shook themselves apart on the freeway because they didn't have freeways in Japan, right? So to travel at 70. And that means paying for constant maintenance. He needs a large space to store the cars, and it must be climate controlled to protect the vehicles from damage. Also, Leno has a team of expert mechanics working to keep every engine running smoothly. All of this costs millions of dollars, which can outweigh any profit he might make from selling a few cars. But the story wasn't all rosy. Something happened that changed everything. While Leno primarily acquires vehicles out of passion rather than for profit, he occasionally sells cars from his collection. Notably, in 2021, he sold his 2015 Tesla Model, marking one of the rare instances he parted with a vehicle. It was reported that one of Leno's most memorable losses came with his 1966 Shelby Cobra 427. The Shelby Cobra is one of the most famous cars in the world, known for its sleek design and powerful engine. It was rumored that Leno bought it as an investment, hoping its value would grow over time. But when he decided to sell the car, things didn't go as planned. The classic car market had shifted, and he ended up selling the Cobra at a loss. For someone like Leno, who knows so much about cars, losing money on such a well-known model was a tough experience. However, Leno has not publicly confirmed how much money he lost on the deal. But people close to him think it was a lot, maybe even millions of dollars. Another challenge is that some of the rare cars in Leno's collection appeal to a very limited audience. While he enjoys collecting unique and unusual vehicles, not everyone is interested in buying them. These rare cars can be hard to sell because they only attract certain buyers. I mean, it's fast, like a C5 Corvette would be fast. Okay, it's probably 350 horse, maybe a little more. The whole bottom of the car is lined with radiators, that radiator. But it's very light. Jay Leno's car collection is one of the most remarkable in the world, featuring vehicles so unique that only a handful of people would even consider purchasing them. This exclusivity makes it challenging for Leno to turn a profit if he ever decides to sell these cars. While they hold sentimental value, they do not always translate into financial gain. Despite the financial setbacks, Leno remains committed to his collection, which has become an integral part of his identity. His passion for cars is well known, and his collection is among the finest. However, while many recognize his impressive array of vehicles, few truly know the man behind the collection. Let's take a closer look at Jay Leno's personal life. Jay Leno is widely recognized for his time as a late-night talk show host. He spent years making audiences laugh on The Tonight Show, cementing his status as one of comedy's most familiar faces. Born on April 28, 1950, in New Rochelle, New York, Leno grew up in a modest household. His father, Ralph Leno, worked as an insurance salesman, while his mother, Catherine, known as Cine, was a homemaker. Of Italian descent, the family was neither wealthy nor extravagant, but they were close-knit and hardworking. Leno spent his childhood in Andover, Massachusetts, where he developed a strong bond with his family, who would later become his biggest supporters. These formative years played a crucial role in shaping the man he would become. Leno pursued higher education at Emerson College in Boston, where he earned a degree in speech therapy. However, his true passion lay elsewhere. While still in school, he began performing stand-up comedy at local venues, determined to carve a niche for himself in the entertainment industry. The path was anything but easy, yet his perseverance paid off. In 1977, he made his first appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. During an interview with Carson, Leno showcased his sharp wit and humor, quickly earning repeat invitations to the show. Carson, impressed by Leno's comedic timing, continued to feature him, giving him a platform to refine his craft. Still, despite these appearances, Leno spent years performing at small clubs across the country before his career truly took off. In 1992, after years of dedication, Leno succeeded Johnny Carson as the host of The Tonight Show, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his career, one that would bring him nationwide fame. Despite the celebrity status, he remained private about his personal life. During the 1970s, he met Mavis Leno, a philanthropist who shared his passion for helping others. Their connection was immediate, and over time, they built a strong and loving relationship based on shared values and a commitment to making a difference. In 1980, Jay and Mavis married in an intimate ceremony, choosing a life focused on their principles rather than public spectacle. Mavis Leno devoted much of her life to advocating for women's rights, particularly in Afghanistan. She became an active member of the Feminist Majority Foundation's board of directors in 1997 after working to defeat Proposition 209, a California initiative that sought to end affirmative action. A year later, as the Taliban's oppressive regime gained power, she took on a significant role as chair of the campaign to stop gender apartheid in Afghanistan. She made numerous public appearances, urging the U.S. and the United Nations to deny the Taliban political recognition until women's human rights were restored. Her activism played a crucial role in stopping a major energy company, UNOCL, from building an oil pipeline through Afghanistan, which would have funneled over $100 million to the Taliban. Mavis's relentless efforts ensured that Afghan women's struggles remained in the global spotlight. Her work was so impactful that the Feminist Majority Foundation's campaign for Afghan women and girls received a Nobel Peace Prize nomination in 2002. Throughout their marriage, Jay and Mavis chose not to have children, a decision that often sparked public curiosity. However, Leno maintained that they were content with their lives as they were. Their bond remained strong through the years, though recent developments have introduced profound challenges. Jay Leno recently made significant adjustments to his will to ensure Mavis's well-being and the proper management of their estate in the future. His decision to update his legal affairs comes at a difficult time, as Mavis has been battling advanced dementia. The condition has severely impacted her memory, causing her to struggle with recognition, even at times failing to recognize her own husband. In early 2024, Jay took legal steps to secure Mavis's care by filing for conservatorship over her estate. This legal move grants him the authority to make crucial decisions on her behalf. Despite her declining health, Mavis expressed her trust in Jay to manage their affairs, making this transition a necessary and compassionate choice. Jay Leno, known for his resilience in both career and personal life, now faces one of his most challenging roles, ensuring the well-being of his wife during her most vulnerable years. What do you think about the tragedies Jay Leno has faced in his career, business, and personal life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the next video on your screen, you won't want to miss it.